Welcome to the Love Tribe. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Join my channel, subscribe, be a part of the tribe, and, get in on some enlightenment. Okay, so today we're going to talk about some really cool things, particularly how men feel in society. So I have two really great guests with me today, and we're going to get to know them. So let's move on to our guests. So here we go. So tell us your name, your age, and what you do for a living first. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Michael. I'm 38, and I own a small business, a painting company.
Okay, give us a fun fact about you.
Fun fact is that I train jiu-jitsu.
That's really cool. Okay, next, give us your name, your age, what you do for a living.
Hi, my name is Ricardo. I'm 39 years old. I work as an auto detailer at Rick Case Honda in Davie.
Give us a fun fact.
A fun fact, I love Volkswagen's performance-oriented cars.
Okay, nice.
I'm into European cars a lot.
Which one's your favorite?
My favorite is the Volkswagen Golf R.
Nice.
Wish I could buy one, but anyways, what can I say?
We're getting there. We're gonna get there.
Eventually, I'll eventually get one.
Is he gonna add that to your collection?
I'll add it to my collection. It'll be my fifth car or sixth car.
Okay, awesome. Okay, well, thank you guys for being here. We're going to get into the meat of things. So today's topic is, hold on, let me put these on. I look more profesh. These on, I see better. Do men get the respect they deserve? That's my question. That's my first question. Do men get the respect they deserve? So, Michael, I'm going to have you tell me from your perspective, do you think men get the respect they deserve today?
Well, I have been seeing a switch in the dynamics of how men are viewed in society, where I feel like everyone is demanding that the man should be more robotic, where he shouldn't have emotions, he shouldn't show his emotions, he should be able to control them to the point where he doesn't say anything, and it's everybody else before him.
Okay.
And then you have a lot of people, because of that. Because as a man, when you fall, you're always taught don't cry. Growing up in a Hispanic culture, that's exactly what it was. It was like, hey, men don't cry. Right. So you'd suck it up and you'd be like, all right, let me repress my emotions.
Yeah.
And then so as you get older, this is what is expected, and you have that disconnect of that feminine energy.
Yeah.
And the male becomes toxic masculinity, if you will. It forms into that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, people categorize anything that's not to their standard or what they agree to being toxic masculinity, but I think mostly is like a man that tells a woman what to wear, things that are becoming less progressive, like that were at a different time the way it was.
Yeah.
And
like they're just trying to protect you.
And that's exactly where it comes from. Thank you for saying that. Because that's exactly where it comes from. Anytime I've ever had to tell a girlfriend, because I'm very old-fashioned.
Right.
Anytime I had a girlfriend that I had to request maybe that she dress a little bit more appropriate for the occasion. There was an issue. You're trying to control me.
You're trying to control me and
then later on in the night when I allowed her to do how she wanted to dress, there was issues that it came from it, where I had to stand up and get into situations and protect her honor, just because she put herself in that.
What would happen?
Would be dancing at the club, and she's dancing provocatively, she's dressed provocatively, and other guys are starting to come in thinking that they're going to be next or trying to pull her hand, and then I'm like, hey, and I have to man up and really pull out the alpha in me in order to take over the situation, and that's not toxic, but I mean, that part's not toxic, right? I guess.
I don't believe that it's toxic, but I think that.
And it could end bad, you know? Somebody could pull a gun out, and for what? Because you dressed a certain way? I'm trying to protect both of us at the end of the day.
So it seems like the entire problem comes from the woman. That's what it seems.
It always
does. It seems like it comes from the woman. If she only wore what you told her to wear as a protective measure, all of that could have been avoided.
There's definitely extremes to every case. And but there should be a certain level of respect and love that go hand in hand in a relationship.
So would you say that men get respected less today?
Men get respected less.
Yeah.
Their value has gone down because women, they make their own money, they do their things, so they think that they don't need men because what was men good for before?
Yeah.
Provision,
Yeah.
providing and protection. So now women are, the jobs have changed. You're not out there farming, doing hard labor, stuff that women wouldn't do. Not that they couldn't, but they wouldn't do because
Right.
it was more a man's job, quote
Yeah.
unquote. So now we have women with jobs that don't necessarily need to work hard to make money and earn well.
Right.
So now you have women with good houses, good jobs, and you have the men falling behind and being disrespected because their worth is not equivalent. Or what do I need you for? You better be making 2-3 times more than what I make.
Yeah, they're not looking at the person's character and essence anymore. Like that's the value in your life, not the numbers. I mean that's what I think. It's not about the numbers, it's about the essence that it brings in your life. Ricky, Ricardo, based on like your experiences that you've had at work, because he's detailed like millions of cars at this point. He's worked. How long have you worked for Rick Case?
I worked for about 6 years, 7 years.
6 years, 7 years. So that's, and it's like, how many cars a day do you see from people?
A lot. It's
Like
hard to say a number. I would say maybe like 100 cars a day,
In
maybe
a day?
120.
So that's like 100 different people that you may interact with.
Yeah.
Always different backgrounds. So based on those experiences that you've had, do you feel that men get the respect they deserve?
From my perspective, I do not believe men get the respect they deserve, because some women only see men at times, because of their money, or respect them because they have money and they're buying a lot of stuff all the time. And that really does bother me in a sense, because it's just, no matter how much you want to respect somebody, they just don't respect you because of the money situation. They only want to like you and respect you because, oh, you have a lot of money, or you buying me nice things, and it just
That seems to come first.
That seems to come first in their mind. Like they only want to do something with you or respect you because of your wallet, or because you're buying them expensive gifts, and that's not something. That's something that I've seen lately from my past experiences with a bunch of women. I had a girlfriend in the past that was giving me a headache. Cause like, I respect her to the fullest all the time. I even bought her a nice, 2 nice gifts when we went out, and still she was still giving me a headache no matter what. And you know what?
What was she doing? What was something that was giving you a headache about that?
It's like being jealous about who I had on my phone, the girls I was friends with on Facebook, people I was following.
And would you say that's a lack of respect? Like not.
And she thought it was a lack of respect. Like, no woman would even care about that. If you're just friends with a person on social media, and you're not dating them or seeing them on outside of that, that shouldn't bother the person at all. The woman shouldn't worry about that.
May I ask you something? So in your, like, you wouldn't do that to her?
To me, I would not.
Like, you wouldn't go through her friends list and say, who's this guy? Or?
I would not do that to any woman, regardless.
Nice. Respect.
I respect everyone. I don't care. I could be engaged to the person. I could be married to the person.
You choose to give them trust.
I give them trust. As long as they don't go behind my back, and I come home one day and I see that they're with somebody else in the house, or I don't
That would be a done deal. I think that's it. Done.
That's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
It's like what this girl was doing to me. It was basically like, not even my own mother does this to me, checking my phone and my friends list.
Did it make you feel respected?
It didn't make me feel respected. It was like, she's not respecting my privacy. It's like, you need to understand that, when I respect your privacy, why can't you respect me, And that's the thing that bothers me a lot lately.
I think it comes from her being insecure. Maybe in the past she got hurt.
Yeah.
Other reasons like that. Maybe she's doing something wrong, because sometimes people do things out of guilt. And they're like, they start accusing you, like, hey, I think you're doing this when they're doing it. So all of those could have been a factor, right? But, she's no longer in your life for a reason. So.
I'm glad she's no longer in my life, because after what she did to me, it was like, it's not right. Like, no matter how nice I was to her, how respectful I was with a person, You know, it was like I was being as nice and respectful to her all the time. I was always enjoying myself with her, and then the person still had issues, and still had what's the word I'm looking for? Still had the nerve to say, "Oh, you're dating these people, or blah blah blah, or this, are you doing this, or you doing that?"
And there you are, like, you know, hustling at your job.
And I'm here hustling on my job, working my butt off in the hot sun.
You only have time to date one girl.
And I only have time.
But she thinks you're dating 20.
And I barely have time for myself. Now every time I'll make time, you know, to go out with a person, enjoy myself, and you know, do things together. We would be out from like 1 in the afternoon till like 9, 10 o'clock at night. That just shows I enjoy myself with her.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. Well, both of you have shared that. I guess the answer is no. Men are not getting the respect they deserve nowadays. So we're gonna take the conversation to another place about how do men see the world today? You know, culturally, financially, and romantically. Because I think there's not enough information out there letting people know how, like, real men see the world. You know, there's a big emphasis on high value men and people and men that are at certain echelons in life, but not every person is at that level. And that level, it's not like the main population isn't composed of people at that level. That's not even realistic.
Yeah.
That's only like what 1% of people, not even 1% of men, of people, because you also have to put women in there too. That there's some women that are up there at that level. So if we're looking at that, we need to consider real men, because they're the ones that build, you know, society. They build the infrastructures we have. They build, you know, buildings. Like even for me to have a better updo on my set here, I have men actually taking care of it. It's not me, because if it were just me as it was before, I mean, it's still okay, but it's not this great. So here is my first question. We're going to get into the cultural part of it, how men see the world today from the culture side. Has culture affected how we view men? So I'm going to have Michael tell me. Do you think culture has affected how we view men?
But as far as culture goes, I feel like we're referring to it
like the
on
trends.
a global, but it's really like an American culture. So
let's talk about Western side.
Yeah, Western culture has definitely changed it to where you know, the man is undervalued. But you know, individually, what we do, because I'm not disrespected in my relationship. You know what I mean? So I guess it's something that's actually happening. You know, it's actually happening out there. But me personally, I wanted to add that from the last conversation we were having, just because I felt like I left that out. Like,
go ahead,
each individual has to be respected. So I got to get my respect, right? And how do I become a respected man of my house, community? Well, I'm a part of it. I'm active. I'm in there. You know, if it's in the house, I'm helping. There's nothing that's too far for me to do. If I'm at church, I'm volunteering. You know, I'm helping somebody with jujitsu. I'm helping somebody with Muay Thai. Like this morning was kickboxing. It's like, how do I get respect? That gives me respect. My discipline. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, people watching me, that gives me as a man value. That becomes my high value.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a good answer. Ricky, what about you, Ricardo? What do you think? Has culture affected how we view men?
In a ways, yes, it does. I don't even know, to be honest, I don't even know the answer to this one. I want to be as honest as possible. Some people don't respect you in a way like about your religion. They want you to be a certain, follow their religion and their culture and
their style
in order for you to fit in, and that really does bother me. Like, no matter what, you should fit in regardless of your culture and your religion, and even financially as well. You know, you should be able. People should need to respect the person, no matter, you know, their religion, their culture, or their financial status.
Okay, so here's a question. It's not even part of my list of questions, but I'm gonna put it here now because we brought up the word a lot from the beginning. Do you think respect is it a choice, or is it something people have to earn?
Something that someone needs to earn.
They need
you have to earn respect in order to get respect.
Okay.
And if you don't respect the person, or you don't or give the respect, you're not going to earn the respect from that other person. You have
But
to
you just
earn
said give the respect. So are you choosing to give respect to someone? Do you choose to give it?
I don't choose to.
I think we all are raised by our parents to have like a baseline respect for everyone.
Okay.
And everyone gets a baseline respect out the gate.
Right.
Then it's up to you whether it goes down or it increases.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way. That's actually a good way of putting it. So what we do ends up determining then.
Yeah, everybody starts at 100, right?
Yeah.
You could be 120, 140 in my books.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or you could be 80, 70. Oh, he's 50% reliable.
Depending on what they do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I have some connections that are like that. It's like, goes up and down. But I always see respect as a choice. Maybe because I'm a woman. For a woman, it's different from a woman's perspective. It's a choice. Like I choose to respect you the same way I will respect, him, the next guest, or I respect my producer the same way I will respect, the janitor. I choose to give that respect because I could also choose to not to if I'm having a bad day, just be like mean to whoever. Mm-hmm. But I still choose to be respectful, even though I don't know them from anywhere, I
hear you. I guess for me, it's like since we operate, we're all wired different. Men and women are wired different.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I don't operate from an emotional place. Try not to, at least.
Right.
Where like I get to be that way with somebody, like dismissive or rude. Mm-hmm. Like I try to like always be aware, almost to a fault, like overly considerate almost.
Yeah.
Right. And that has hurt me, as I tiptoe through life. Like it's hurt me on like where I am, but it gives me this peace of mind that the people at least around me can't say that I'm.
That at least you made the choice to,
respectful.
Yeah, be extra respectful towards
Yeah.
them. Sometimes they don't even know what that feels like.
Yeah.
And that's the society we live in today, to be honest. Here's my next question. It still has to do with culture. Do you think like expectations in culture has like affected how you shaped yourself? Like how you shape yourself as a man? Has it been affected by culture?
Repeat the question one more time.
Like, how do you feel cultural expectations have shaped your identity as a man?
Well, like I said in the beginning, where we're like, you hide your emotions.
Yeah.
I'm breaking free from that now that I'm 38. Mm-hmm. I'm breaking free from that norm of like too tough.
Yeah.
I listen to all kinds of music now,
Right.
R&B, like deep stuff, like beautiful stuff, and I'll watch little like The Notebook with my girlfriend. Like I'll get into that feminine where I'm vulnerable at,
right.
But definitely the culture has molded the beginning stages of this manhood. But I think we all start with like a mold because right, we get school, we got TV, we got all the programming, we have the influences of pop culture.
Right.
These things are all molding us until we like either break free from the matrix or choose to continue in a different place in the matrix, right?
Oh, interesting. You brought up the matrix. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the matrix. It tells us how to tell us to be hypnotized and just be like zombies. That's basically.
We went from farming, hunting, gatherers to, Amazon.
Everything's delivered.
Yeah.
You don't really have like. I think how men provide has changed as a consequence of like. Culture has allowed us to have so many like privileges. It's actually taken away, like you said, the need for a man.
The role.
I have DoorDash. Why do I need a man to go pick something up for me? I have DoorDash. I sometimes even say that I'm like, I don't need a boyfriend. I have DoorDash. I can send my own self chocolates. I know it's bad, but I'm sorry. That's just the reality. Okay, so Ricky, what do you think, Ricardo? Do you think cultural expectations has shaped your identity?
And
like where you have to do certain things, you have to be a certain way. Do you think the way culture has shaped that for you?
In some ways, yeah, and like you have to do certain things to to provide and in ways and everything, but other than that, I don't believe it really. You
haven't allowed it to affect you.
I don't allow it to affect me at all.
Yeah, you try to stay in your own
Yeah,
vibe.
I try to stay in my own line or lane,
What are some things you do to stay like in your own lane, in your own vibe, to not pay attention to?
I don't pay attention. I listen to my own to music I like to listen to. You know, I listen to some sorts of music. I like mostly like the dance techno type of music. I have on my playlist on my car.
Yeah.
You know. But,
do you watch TV? Do you watch the news?
Sometimes I watch the news, but mostly I watch Netflix and YouTube, the ASMRs. Mm-hmm. And I'm into like watching.
So you go looking for what you want to watch. Not
I go looking for what I like to watch. Like you know what's out there on YouTube. Watching videos of like people traveling on the plane. You know, videos of people on the plane where you have the view of outside the window. Like if you're actually on the plane yourself. You know, something.
So it's stuff that makes your mind kind of like go outside of like your everyday life.
Yeah, like to get my mind away from work and stuff like that.
Would you say any of those things you watch make you feel like fearful?
No.
Okay, so they make you feel. They make you feel.
Make me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm going somewhere, and keeps my mind away from things that that I always have to have my mind on all the time.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so here's my next question: How do you navigate cultural expectations? And do you feel that they are, like the cultural expectations of what a man needs to be, do they make you feel powerful or do they make you feel restrictive?
I don't cave in anymore at this age.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm really sure of who I am and what I bring naturally in that sense that like.
What you bring to the table?
Yeah, and what's natural to me is to protect, honestly.
Yeah.
That's my, whether it's a small child, a weaker person,
Yeah.
whoever, friend, family, somebody outside. I stopped in the middle of the road the other day because there was a kid getting beat up. He's a high school kid, and he was getting he was getting jumped by like 5 other kids.
No way.
And nobody was doing anything. They were just like watching or filming. I hopped out the car and I started screaming like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? They all started running.
Yeah.
Then I got the kid and his sister, and I was like, come on, I'll give you a ride. Where you got to go? They jumped in the car. He was angry. He was trying to call people to help. And I took him to the McDonald's, and I'm like, let me just pray. Whatever you're going to do, I'm like, think about it. It all has consequences.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me just pray. If you let me pray for you, and he let me pray for him.
Yeah.
And after that, I don't know what happened. But I think I trailed away from.
But that's like angel work. I was asking you if you feel like the expectations culture puts on a man, does it make you feel powerful or does it make you feel restricted?
I guess in that sense, that cultural expectation of me being a protector, I feel powerful. I feel empowered when I go into my role, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel restricted? Or have you ever felt restricted?
Only in the times where, like if I'm
really?
having a conversation,
if
I'm having a conversation, there's one time I had a conversation with a client. I got a little frustrated with her.
Yeah.
And she said, "Don't yell at me." And I was like, "Whoa, did I raise my voice? Like I know I'm
you're not a yeller.
I'm intimidating in the sense. I'm calm right now.
Yeah.
But obviously I have levels, obviously like everybody. So I was a little frustrated, and I was explaining to her what was happening, and I guess
She's like, don't yell at me.
don't yell at me. And I was like, I had to check myself, and I was like, oh my goodness, did I really yell at you? Oh my God. And then my voice went so high pitched, and I was like, no, I'm so sorry.
So in those moments, that makes you feel restricted, like.
Yeah, but I get it. There's no place for Tarzan.
Yeah. We have the same issue. I have the same issue with Ricardo. Sometimes when we talk, like he just gets so loud. I'm like, hey, just
He's passionate. I could tell.
I'm right here next to you, man. Ricardo, what do you think? Do you think the expectations in culture of like how a man should be, does it make you feel powerful or does it make you feel restricted?
Sometimes restrictive and sometimes powerful. It just depends how you see it and how you.
When does it make you feel powerful? Give me an example.
Like when you step in to help somebody, or if you see somebody struggling with something, you step in to help them out. Like if you see them carrying like heavy stuff, you step in to lift and give them a hand with the heavy bags or boxes or anything like that, just to give them a hand,
Or like
do you
push
do
a
that?
Car, or like push a car, see somebody broken down.
Yeah. Do you do that?
I normally, every time I see someone struggling, I always step in to help them out because I like doing good deeds to help people out.
Nice.
That's really nice.
That makes me feel good at the end of the day that you help somebody out.
You go to bed and you feel like, I helped like 5 people.
In certain ways, sometimes I feel restrictive. Like when I want to help somebody, I say, no, it's okay, don't worry about it. it just made me feel restrictive, and it makes me feel bad I can't help that person out in a way, and it's just
Makes you feel bad
it makes me feel bad I couldn't help them,
in any way. Yeah.
in any way possible, even if it's lending them a hand to carry something heavy into the house or into the car, or or get their car out of a tight spot because they couldn't.
Why do you think they say no? Like, what do you think makes them say no? Is it because they feel like, oh, I don't want this guy to help me?
Sometimes they look at me and they say, oh, I don't want this guy to help me, but if they see somebody else, they let them help them, and then it just made me feel like, what's wrong about me? I'm just trying to step in, to give you a hand and help you out, and I just want to help you out because I am a caring person. I like to help people out, on every type of situation.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel very powerful.
Oh, that's good, Ricky. That's good. Okay, are there aspects of your background that you feel particularly proud of in relationship to being a man? Like, is there stuff related to your background that makes you feel proud in your manliness, in your manhood?
Well, I mean, in my manliness.
This is so man-oriented. It's nice, though. I feel like the ladies are going to appreciate this. I mean, the 12,000 that are on Instagram will.
In my manliness, what was the question again?
Like, are there aspects of your background that you feel particularly proud of?
I'm proud of all the stuff that I learned in the Latin Kings. Mm-hmm. I'm actually proud of what it created in me, because I got to see two sides of the world in a safe place. Because where I was at, where God had me, He had me protected, and I was able to see the two sides, right? So that knowledge that I acquired in the street, that's helped me now, in life.
Yeah.
And my martial arts background and MMA, that makes me feel,
So even like the episode of your life that, had you linked or chained to something that, was not entirely great for.
So I don't look at life.
You're still proud of that.
I don't look
regardless.
at life in like the sense of, was this thing a bad thing or a good thing, right?
Right.
Because there was like a proverb that said that there was like an Indian boy that found a horse, and everybody in the village was like, wow, he's so lucky. Then when he was trying to tame the horse threw him off and he broke his leg, and everybody's like, wow, he's so unlucky. And then there was a war in the tribe, and everybody that could fight died except for him because he couldn't. So he was being lucky.
He was injured.
But see?
Yeah.
So what are we calling lucky, unlucky is subject to what we interpret at the moment.
So it's relative, I guess. Yeah, I don't believe in luck.
Exactly. So what I went through has nonetheless chiseled me into today's man that you see in front of you.
I think that's so fantastic.
So I'm proud of that.
What about you, Ricky? Oh, before I even ask Ricardo, I want to say you need to watch our episode where I interview Michael Brinko, and he gives us the whole story about his Latin King experience. That was, it's not with same studio quality, but the information you get from listening into it is really, really valuable. Ricardo, what about you? What aspects of your background make you proud?
Well,
Like, what is your background? Tell us.
well, I want to say that about the luck part. When you mentioned about the luck part, I just want to say about the luck. I don't believe in luck myself either. I believe that luck is you bringing the luck yourself and being lucky yourself. I don't believe in good luck.
No?
I only believe in.
Do you believe in karma?
I believe in karma. Like when you do something bad for somebody, it comes back to you in a bad way. But the good luck part, you choose to have the good luck, and you choose, and you make the good luck yourself.
I agree.
Right.
State of mind.
So tell us what's your background.
My background, I just gotta say, my background is, it's a clean background.
Not background like law, legal.
I got a clean background.
No, Ricardo, tell us your cultural background.
Cultural background.
Did you bring your record? Did you bring your legal record? We don't know if it's a clear. We don't know.
That probably didn't
Could be underground stuff. No, what's your cultural background?
My nationality is Portuguese. I was born in Newark, New Jersey, and you know, and
How old were you? Did you always live in New Jersey, or did you go?
no, actually, I lived in Newark, New Jersey for a few years, and then I moved with my grandmother when I was 4 years old
Where?
in Portugal,
Okay.
and we stayed with my grandmother. My sister and I stayed with my grandmother until I was like about 11 or 12, and then my parents came to the Portugal to stay with us, and we started living there until about I was 15, 16 years old, and actually until I was like 13 or 14, around there somewhere.
Okay.
And then we came to Florida for the first time, but anyways, you know, I'm just, the way I feel today, I feel a lot better that I actually grew really well here in Florida,
Okay.
living in the United
So, are there any aspects of your culture that make you feel proud of yourself as a man?
Actually, they do. All the things I do, you know.
Yeah.
What's an aspect that makes you feel proud of your culture?
Kind of a hard question to answer. Let's say that down Portuguese, I love my culture, you know, and
Are the men in Portugal weak?
some of them are, some men are weak, and some Portuguese men are very strong.
Are they family oriented?
Some are and some aren't.
Some are and some aren't.
There's
So it's like a
some
mixture?
Portuguese men that are family oriented. They're into their family, and some of them they don't even care about the family. They just wanna.
Just like everywhere, right?
They
Yeah.
just want to go anywhere without the family, and not even care about their family. And the others, they're in family oriented. They like do things with the family, take family, you know, on trips and stuff like that, and you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get into the next topic related to how men see the world, the financial aspect of it. How do you feel about the role of money in defining your success?
So I feel like success can't be measured in money. Although, you know, everybody wants to live comfortably, right?
Yeah.
So I guess success is basically comfort at whatever level you choose that to be. If you don't worry about what everyone thinks about you, then you should be just fine. The moment that you involve everybody else in your life,
Yeah.
you know, you have to remember that you're not going to share a coffin with anyone.
Right.
So if
Yeah.
I'm thinking that, like, oh, you know, I see my friends, they have the nicest cars or the nicest clothes, and I get down on myself because of it, that shouldn't be my motivation to get better things or this or that.
Right.
Because once I do, then what? You know, I'm gonna find I'm voided. There's a void there. There's something that needs to fill it, and for some reason, it's everybody's acceptance of me or seeing that.
Yeah.
That's not how I want to live. That's not how I choose to live. So I can't look at income as a form of success.
As a set, yeah.
I see if my family is happy, if they're happy with me, if I'm a community pillar, you know what I
Right.
mean? If people can count on me, then that's success in a way that if I'm close to God, if my relationship with God is close,
Right.
then that's worth more than gold.
That is true. That's a good response. What about you, Ricky? Do you connect money with success?
No,
For you?
actually, I don't connect money with success. It all depends on how good you are and successful you are by how you bring in income into the house, to the household to provide in a way. And me, I don't really feel the need to be like everyone else, where I need to have the best looking car or clothes or watch or shoes or anything. The way I look and the way I drive, and you know, I want people to see me like, oh, the guy's successful because, you know, look what he's driving, and he got that as he, you know,
He worked for it.
He worked for it, and no matter what, he still has a nice car that he drives. You know, he didn't get it because he wants to impress somebody.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just as long as I see my family happy, and you know, that makes me feel I'm, you know, successful, that I see them happy, and you know, being, you know, going to church with family, you know.
Here's another. Now that you just, sorry to interrupt, you just brought that. You just were talking about like how you get stuff, how it happens, and that's what you consider success, not necessarily the money you make. Do you think that and I'm gonna ask this to both of you guys. Do you think that all like men are concerned with status when it comes to like their life? like
Some-
status, like, you know, you have to, you know, be a boss, and you have to have a personal, you have to have your own business, and you have to, you know, I don't know, like, be able to get your own, you know, Rolls Royce. Like, do you, like, people believe that status for men is important, like all men want to have this status, like this, you know, this Andrew Tate kind of, you know, that you want to achieve that. Do you feel like every man really thinks that way?
I feel like every man has a level of what that means to him,
Right.
right? Because a lot of us get comfortable at a certain place. But for example, like let's say last year I made a certain amount, and I was okay,
Right.
and I got comfortable. And then if I stay there, where's the growth? So should you always try to aim to be better, right? You should.
You should, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I'm sorry, I lost.
Well, I was asking, does every man see status as like a necessity in their life? Like, you have to achieve like a certain level of lifestyle to show
Yeah,
that you
I
have
guess.
status.
I guess to make it simple, the simple answer is yes. We have to be the provider, the protector, and how do you provide it nowadays is with a good income.
Yeah.
So you do want to be a boss. You do. I have an entrepreneurial spirit. You know, I've always had, you know, my own little thing with painting, and I've done odd jobs when the things slowed down.
Right.
But my mind has always been personally. But my whole family is like that, though.
Right.
You know, so I don't think necessarily everybody is like that, because I have a friend that works at Bahama Breeze, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
You know, and he's okay. He's fine. He's happy with what he does, and he's not thinking like, okay, what's my 10-year goal, and that's fine too. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you're at, and your definition of success is up to you, right? But like for me personally, like I said, from my background, or like my family, they all have like that entrepreneurial spirit. I'm talking aunts. Let's mom.
Yeah,
she's a hustler.
Yeah, I've heard
You
about.
know?
I've heard
She's-
stories. I've heard
yeah.
stories. Wait,
She's a beast.
what about you, Ricardo? Do you think all men want to have status in order to feel like they have success in their life?
To me personally, I'm going to say in my personal perspective, I do things to aim better for myself, to be better, and now I don't worry about the goal. Well, sometimes I might worry about a goal because I want to achieve a goal, but I do it in a way because I want to become better, you know, and be better in life and doing better for myself in the future.
Is it about status for you?
For me, it's not about status. I see it as becoming one and do better for yourself.
Okay.
So whether if I could be an auto detailer for Rick Case Honda for 10 years, it's not going to bother me because I enjoy doing what I do, and I really don't care about the status. You know, as long as I'm doing good and I push myself to do good. You know, I don't really see myself to have a status. You know, I only care about, you know, doing better for myself.
You look like you have a low stress attitude, and I like that.
He does.
Yeah.
Like, and he doesn't take
And he looks like
anything.
he's sure of himself.
Yeah.
Like really sure of himself. You know?
I mean,
So
that's another
good.
reason why I wanted to do this sit down with men, with two men, so that I could actually get responses from, you know, like you're a business owner, he works for a company, but status means different to two different men. Like you just mentioned that, you know, it means something different to every single man, but nevertheless, men will want to have some form of status in order to be a provider, which I think almost every man can agree with that. Would you agree with that, Ricardo? Do you feel like some form of status is needed?
Not really. As long as you make a really good income and you bring in, you know, enough income to provide for the household.
You can provide.
And as long as I can provide, you know,
That's all
I
that
would
matters.
don't get me wrong, I would love to have my own business one day, but I don't really, you know, stress myself about that. You know, if it happens one day, I'll be very happy if it happens, but I'm not gonna, you know, stress myself to get that just to, you know, show like look at my status.
Yeah, it
and
has to be
this and-
something you want.
It has to be
Yeah.
something that I want when the time comes for, you know, and to me, as long as I can provide and for the household and be able to afford to have a nice house to live in, a bed to sleep in, and
Yeah.
and a nice car to drive.
That makes
know,
you happy.
That makes me happy.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to have a status in life. I don't need to have a status to be happy.
That's good. That's
As
good.
long as
speaking of when it comes, it comes. When it gets into the romantic questions, I think that those are good. I have a couple of questions related to relationships. Okay. There's this concept that usually women are the romantic ones and men are just like straight and to the point, and they only kind of court in order to achieve something or someone, and then it stops. But I have a different perspective. I actually feel like men are more romantic than women. And I just think that culture has given the trend that women are the romantic ones. Yeah, you could say that if you look at like movies and everything that's in the media, it looks like that, but that doesn't mean that that's 100% the truth. So my belief is that men are actually very more romantic than women. So I'm going to ask some questions related to, how men see the world when it comes to like romantic side of their life. What's romantic life for a man, Michael?
Okay, so I'm going to let you in a little
What's
secret.
romantic for you?
A little secret is that most men do the romantic things to please, because we understand that that's a thing that women do want the romance.
Yeah.
So they're romantic in the sense that they want the romance, right?
Yeah.
And they I've had girlfriends that have actually done really nice things for me for birthdays and, little nice romantic things that they set up. So yeah, I would agree that women are more romantic and thoughtful. Men are definitely more out to get what they want at the end of it. Then it's about the balance that the man and the woman keep in order for the man to continue to keep courting the woman through marriage.
So would you say that the relationship or the dynamic between a woman and a man affects how a man is romantic or not?
Yes, of course.
It does? Okay.
100%.
Do you have any?
I feel like women should I mean, the 100, right, is if it's like a masculine energy and a feminine energy, and they're both like deep in their rightful
In
energy.
their role.
In
Yeah,
their role.
yeah.
Exactly. Then he has a chance to be the alpha, protector, provider. She has the chance to be delicate, nurturer, submissive.
Yeah.
And submission is both ways, though.
Yeah.
Because they're both submitting to each other. Okay? So submission isn't an act of like the weaker,
Yeah.
It's more like I give in to you because just like you submit to God, when you submit to God, you're like, oh no, I'll do it your way.
Yeah, it's like if you have a boss, I'm not gonna sit there and like argue with my boss and what I should and shouldn't do.
Insubordination.
Yeah, I think that so it's important to a man to have some form of submission. Lucky, go sleepy time. Go sleepy time. Go sleepy time. Okay, so Rookie, what's romantic life for you?
Me, I believe that sometimes you should be romantic, like, every now and like for a girlfriend's birthday, you kind of thoughtful, like, you do something special for her. You take her, to a romantic, place, like, either go see a show or go.
But that sometimes that stuff gets monotonous and women can pick up on it and they kind of feel like you're just doing it just to do it.
Right.
And then it's like your heart's not in it. So it's like, as men, we have to keep that like excitement of heart being in it, because if not, they're gonna feel it, and then that romance is actually gone, and then you're gonna have a resentful wife, and then no cooking, no cleaning. I'm just kidding.
No cooking and no cleaning.
But yeah, the other part, I look at that. But I like to do nice things and be romantic at times because I want to show the woman that you really care about her.
Yeah.
Right.
And I really like her a lot by not just buying like a gift for her, like, but
The thoughtful stuff, right?
like taking
Little
her,
notes or
going on a boat, on a boat ride, for example, or going to see a show or something, because you want to do something together, and show her how special she is.
Right.
And then I was actually my past relationship.
Oh, tell us about that.
My birthday,
Shared experience.
for my birthday, before my birthday actually, my girlfriend took me. We went to Bayside on the boat ride. It was very romantic and everything, and but then she did something very special for me. At the end, we had some dinner at Chili's, and she got me some dessert and all, and made it special. And she made my birthday feel so special. She got me like a really nice gift. She got me like 2 bags of voodoo chips and.
Those are your favorite snacks?
My favorite chips,
See, look how simple that is. That's romantic to him. Voodoo chips is romance.
And 2
Men are low maintenance.
Men are low maintenance.
Two car t-shirts and like 1 or 2 keychains, and I was really happy. I really, I saw like she's really making my birthday really special, and she's making me feel special because she really likes me, and she really cares about me as a boyfriend.
Right.
And then I didn't even get a chance to do that for her birthday because, you know,
That whole lack of trust
the whole
issue.
lack of trust issue she had, you know, we had to end up, you know, breaking up and everything.
If it wasn't for the lack of trust, would you have continued?
To be honest with you, it's kind of hard to say. I would say maybe, maybe not.
You didn't have enough
I didn't have
knowledge.
enough, you know, to where I really wanted to continue to be with that person because she was giving me so much headache that I just
Did it take the joy out of wanting to get to know them?
It took my joy wanting to be with that person because I work so much that, you know, I couldn't even make so much time for us to do something together. And I really don't want to say this about her, but this person, when she's sitting down during the day on her with her feet up watching TV or messaging people, whatever, I'm basically out there busting myself in the hot sun while she's at home just, you know, doing whatever.
Is that aggravating?
And that was like aggravating to me that, you know, how are we gonna, you know, like my job drains me so much that when it comes to my days off, it was like, okay, one day for me, and then the other day I make it for us to do something together. She wanted to take up all my time, you know, all the time. Like she
Let
wanted.
me ask you a question. When you would come home and she was just at home, like you said, right?
Yeah, just at home all the time. And
Did she have dinner ready?
no, we weren't living together.
Okay.
She was living with her uncle or whatever she was living
So
with.
that's a no. She didn't say, come here, have dinner with me.
That's a no.
No.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't want me to call her, and she wouldn't want me to text her. She was like, when I get home from work, the first
She
thing
needs
I
to
want
get a job.
Yeah.
first thing I wanted to do when I got home is like I wanted to like go get myself cleaned up, take a shower, have my dinner first, and then go take a shower, relax. And if she wanted me to
No,
text
you definitely
her
dodged the
and call her
bullet.
for 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's like I
it's
couldn't-
not healthy. It could even be a really great person, but they're not in the right space to have connection.
I was just glad that relationship ended, and actually I'm really happy that, you know what, so if I'm single, I'm a single guy, you know, I don't really care much because, you know, until I meet the someone that's really gonna, you know, be respectful, and I understand that my job is very drains me a lot all the time.
Right.
Chemistry, as long as the chemistry, right?
So has your views of romance changed over time? Like for either one of you, has the view of romance changed over time, or did you always have the same views about romance?
To be real, when I was younger, I used to dream about like being married. Like that's usually, I think, something.
So men
that's
do
like,
dream about that.
I'm gonna keep it real. I did.
Yeah.
You know, and I got engaged 3 times, and they didn't go through. And it's like, and now I'm in a relationship that I've been with her for 8 years, and I haven't proposed to her. Chill out. Hold on.
Don't divulge it here. She may watch the upload.
But no, what I'm
Are you
saying
gonna
is
tell?
that-
You want to propose
no,
here?
no, no. No, what I mean is that, you know, I guess I don't know if it's like I'm scared of that hurt because I got heartbroken 3 times in that
Right.
sense, you know, and like the engagement thing, I kind of take, like I remove it almost now. Like I don't even want that title. I just want to let's continue to like live
Yeah.
the way we're doing it. Like there's no why complicated. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Obviously, as a Christian man, you know, my church kind of is like, all right, what are you guys gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, let's sit down and let's have this conversation because that's how my church gets down, right? And I told her about it, so that kind of like should allude that I'm gonna propose.
Right.
Priscilla, chill out.
Yeah. Don't. He's saying on camera that he's saying this on camera,
but what I'm
Angelo.
saying-
He's saying this on talking
Has
about
it
producer.
changed? I was highly romantic,
Yeah.
highly like, oh, I can't wait till I get married the rest of my life, etc. And then now I'm just like kind of like, I don't want to say I'm scared to commit because I'm fully committed.
Right.
But I'm in the sense of like that whole marriage, license, ring. Where did it start? Who started that? Who?
Well, I think culture wanted to implement that. Well,
I think that might have started in the
society-
1900s with the
society-
selling of the
yeah.
of the engagement ring.
To make it, to capitalize it, society wanted to create a capitalization out of a religious sacrament. They saw that people were marrying and they were exchanging things within the families. You know, you pay a dowry to get the girl, or the girl would have. Sometimes the girl would have to pay the man's family to get married
Right.
into the man's family. So
Or get
dowry
some
like
goats.
went both. Yeah, dowry went both ways in different
Right.
cultures. But then different societies notice, hey, we can capitalize on this. Let's do the whole engagement ring thing. Let's do the whole, you need to get a license to get married so the church can marry you, because the church has to abide by legal governmental rules anyway. So let's implement that also so that their marriage is recognized, which doesn't make any sense, because if you travel to different countries and you've married in one particular country, if you never inform the other country, you're still single.
Yeah.
Like, that's something people don't know that don't travel unless you go. Like, you get married, you get a license in America, you get married here. If you travel to Spain, you're not married in Spain. You and your husband, wife are not married in other countries. So you don't really need a license. I think the spiritual, religious marriage, I think, is more important, more valuable than the government. But the government being involved, that's what causes people the unsafe feeling, I think. I don't think it's the religious ceremony. I think it's the government involvement is what makes people nervous about getting married.
Yes, I agree. I agree 100%.
Because then you're talking properties, assets, kids, all these other things that basically by signing that contract or that license, you're kind of saying, if we part ways or ever have a problem, you can come in and tell us what to do. And what they come and tell you is not really nice.
Alimony, this, that, child support, etc.
They give a lot of insight to women and men. To this is what you can get if you part ways. And so then when they reach a moment of difficulty in their marriage, guess what they do? They part ways. And this is something that now has become globally known. Like, most divorces are started by women. I myself filed for divorce myself, but I had a good reason, because I had a spouse that was financially putting money out of the family. That was the problem. It wasn't even the infidelity. It was the fact that they were financially spending in a different place constantly. How do you build a life? How do you build an empire like that, right? So I can attest that, yes, women are the ones that start divorces, not men. But all the benefits that you get from getting divorced are mostly pointed at the woman. Alimony, child support, whatever. And that's sad. So I can see why men are nervous when you talk about marriage. And the woman gets all insulted, and it's like, hold up. Let's look at it. We're not saying we don't want to be with you forever. We're saying this contract is a scary contract. It's like when you go to buy a car, and you haven't even checked the car out. You've just seen the picture. You got
a test drive.
You're going to get nervous. Yeah. A test drive doesn't mean you test drive the person, but it's like, they always think like, oh, what are you saying?
That's not what I meant.
You got to test drive the woman, you got to test drive the guy.
I guess that's what dating is.
That's kind of what they say with dating, and that's changed romance. But I think test drive,
definitely changed romance for sure.
Test drive for me means have a committed bond first before you get into that, because, and if you get into that, that's why family values have to come in first place, because then no matter what the trinkets outside offered are, you're not going to consider them, because you're like, family's more important.
So I have a question for you. Do you think that people that meet have two different types of upbringing, like Jewish, and the other one is like a Baptist?
Yeah.
Do you think that they can make it work?
I think they can make it work, because making a relationship work has to do with how you customize it with the other person. So you have to have those interactions and conversations with the other person where you genuinely share what you really want. And if they are also genuinely sharing what they want, and you can come to a place that you kind of just match on certain things, you can actually make your relationship work really well. But now if you're talking about people that think that it has to be all their way, or it has to be all that way, that's not going to work. No, because there's a lot of stuff on relationships and advice and dating and everything. I think where all of these coaches and all of these podcasts that talk about this, where they miss the mark is that when it comes to relationships, they're customizable between two people. I can't sit here and use a life coaching advice that I used with a client 2 months ago thinking it's going to work for everyone that watches it, because it's custom. Even that's customized for that person. So the same with a relationship between a man and a woman, you customize it with that person. Even though the advice can be saying, statistics shows 60% chance it's not going to work. Well, you don't know that because you're customized. It's like a custom-made car. You customize it based on what you like, not based on what you see everyone else driving.
Right.
You're going to get it customized to your liking, and that's what relationships are, and that's why communication with a counterpart that you're getting romantically involved with is important to be genuine. So you start customizing that foundation, and you start building from there, and all of that building is customized. But people, in order to do that, they have to stray away from their you have to stray away from your your hardcore setting. Like, just, you got to drop your
Matrix.
the Matrix, the hardcore setting.
Yeah.
So Ricky, let me ask you: has your view of romance changed over time in your life?
In a way, because
What was romantic for you before?
I used to have this dream when I was a kid. I wanted to get married and have 10 kids.
10
Oh,
kids?
see? You see? I'm happy you said that. I'm happy you said that.
He's admitting to it. He's admitting. Put the mic back on. It has a clip. There we go. Good job. So tell us some more.
I want
10 kids?
10 kids and have them, like, name them different names and everything.
Me too.
And I even promised my parents, we guys are going to have 10 grandkids and this and
Better
that.
be ready.
But it never happened. But you know what? I'm not going to stress about it,
So what's romance for you now?
Romance for me now is, like, I was in this relationship. I know I'm going to bring this person again.
I think if you talk about it one more time, she's going to appear. No,
I just want to say that she was in the rush.
You're using it as a reference.
I'm using it as a reference. She was in the rush to get married. She was already thinking about, we were going to get married and start a life together. And we've only been dating for a month, and she was already talking about marriage.
Yeah.
Scary.
It's like, for me, it's like, no, we have to go out on a date, and for like 10 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. Only after a few years, and I know if I want to be married with that person and spend the rest of my life with them, you know what I mean? But she was too much in a rush to get married, and I just couldn't deal with it, But romance for me is like, you have to be committed in the relationship for, a few years before you want to marry, get engaged with a person, and then possibly marriage.
I think what we can both agree on is romance for men now is really the peace part of the date. Like, women being our peace. That's what's allowed me and my relationship to continue for so long. It doesn't even feel like it's been 8 years. It's been like it feels like it's been 4.
Like, it's been a few less time than
Less
that.
time.
Because you're at peace.
I'm at peace.
So what does a woman have to do for that? Do they just come to you and say, "Hey, I'm your peace"?
So
I'm your peace.
learn how to communicate with each other, because
okay.
it's a two-way street, right? But it's partially mine as well, as there can't just be one person or the other, but both should be keeping each other in check.
Right.
And like, hey, you're sleeping. Like, come on, we got work to do together. We have to be able to motivate each other, right? And if we have that chemistry, we should be able to finish each other's sentences, etc. We have to be.
It'll just happen.
It'll just happen,
The
Bible says that we become one when we have this beautiful connection with another female, male, whatever,
With another person.
person. Then this one thing does more than it could have done by itself.
Okay.
What
about for you, Ricky? What about for you?
For me,
what do you think?
What I think is you need to have peace in a relationship in order to
stay in it.
To stay in it and make it peaceful, where you communicate with a person, whether it's like once or twice during the day. You don't have to communicate with them like every single hour, every 2 hours of the day. If you have a communication with a person like 2-3 times during the day, that should be good between you and the other person. It shouldn't be like every single minute of the day that you have to communicate with a person to make it, peaceful and to make it where it's going to be a good relationship with that person,
Okay, all right. So I think we've reached good ground here today. I think you guys have shared some great insights into, how men feel about culture when it comes to finances, when it comes to, trends, and also when it comes to romantic life. Peace is like more important than anything else, basically, when it comes to romance. It seems to be like the vibe I get from what you guys said is that peace activates you to be romantic. If you have a peaceful home life, you're like, yes, I want to go above and beyond.
Because I'm not flustered thinking like, how can I not piss you off?
Yeah.
I'm like, how can I continue to make you happy and make you happier, you know?
Exactly.
Now I'm thoughtful. When I go out and I get something to eat, I already know. I'm getting
Yeah.
her a little something too. Here's a surprise, baby girl. Here's a
That's
ice
so
cream.
sweet.
You know?
That's so
and it's
sweet.
like, I didn't have this. Is little details that just keep her happy, surprisingly, because it's
Yeah.
not like I'm doing much. I'm just being thoughtful.
Yeah, and I think sometimes men don't realize also that women do like small gestures because the beauty is in the details. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you for staying with us. Genuinely, thanks for following the channel. I hope that you subscribe and, if possible, like the content and watch more of my videos. I have some life coaching tips for you. And I also have some other interesting panels with girls too. We have more, yeah. We have more coming up. So stay tuned and God bless. Thanks for being here. We're out.